Eastern with a special 3-hour edition of Big Noon Kickoff live from the Horseshoe. Then it's Michigan, Ohio State, noon Eastern on Fox.
You know Brew's a Wolverine by blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter went there.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Ohio.
Oh.
So I'm torn.
Look who it is, Brew the finisher.
Jazz Clippers. Knicks guy, Lori Markkinen.
Oh, that's your guy?
It is my guy. Officially
MVP
my guy.
He's your guy now?
He's one of my guys.
Officially, okay.
I like these Jazz uniforms.
They've stumbled on hard times, though, lately.
Yeah, Jazz lose.
He'll pull 'em out.
So make sure you keep him when
That's
they
fine.
lose.
Weird
6
49ers Cardinals. I like this little World Cup fever here.
Oh.
Something, just a little treat there. 49ers and Jimmy G win. Jimmy G could do that.
Great way to
That's
practice
impressive.
accuracy.
Yeah, that's what
I like that.
That is impressive.
Wonderful Bucks Blazers. Giannis treats Nurkic like that large ladder in Philadelphia. Get out of my way. Bucks win. They're 12-4. Pretty good.
I
Not
hate
as
those
nice as
Portland
LeBron
jerseys.
slam over.
Oh, get out.
Real
Yeah,
tough.
what is that?
No, LeBron's was better.
Weird.
100%.
G League.
Oh.
Ty Washington Jr. of the Vipers. 2 of his
Did he
27
really have to
points.
fall on that?
I mean, it was
That's how I played defense.
it was a lot.
Ty Sr. taught him that.
I mean,
Yeah. Vipers win. Moving on to the wonderful Argentina, Saudi Arabia. 52nd minute, and that'll be it. 2-1. Huge loss for Argentina. They play Mexico on Saturday. Nick, were you shocked by this?
Oh, the whole soccer world was shocked by this, especially when you woke up. It was in the middle of the night if you didn't see it. But yeah, of course it's shocking. It's the biggest upset in World Cup since the United States beat England in 1950.
Oh,
wow.
That's fact.
That was
there
my
for
pick,
that.
too, Argentina.
And finally, weird, end of the Cavs game. Donovan, who does a great job with these one-handed rebounds, but then later on, he realizes he took Mobley's 10th rebound and he's apologizing.
Was it going to be a triple-double?
No, just a double-double.
Oh, well, then who cares?
Right.
Well, he's being a
What
nice
does he
guy.
get?
Go get it, big man. Go
Yeah,
get it,
what
big
are you
fella.
talking about?
You don't deserve to. You let the guy know.
double-double?
You gotta
The
go
moral of this
get that.
story is
You got to go
Donovan
get that.
Mitchell, great guy. Future Nick, great guy.
Future Nick.
Yeah, that contract.
5 years from
counting
now.
down.
That it would be a Knicks move. Get Donovan after his prime.
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving around the corner. Giants, Cowboys, 4 p.m. on Fox. Both teams 7-3, but Dallas coming off of roasting the Vikings while the Giants were deep fried by the Lions. Trying to do Thanksgiving. Yeah. Coach Eric Mangini is here. Coach, what are the chances that the Giants upset the Cowboys?
All right, so I'd bet some of Brew's imaginary money that he always bets on the show. especially with a 9-point spread. Here's why I like the Giants.
Not just to cover, but to win.
Yeah, so the Cowboys have struggled stopping the run. They're about 4.7 yards a carry. Giants average about 4.7 yards a carry.
Perfect.
Giants pressure more than anybody in the league. They're a little over 40%. When Dak gets pressured, his completion percentage is about 50%. He's at about I think it's 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, and he's a different player with that amount of pressure. So if the Giants can consistently run the ball, which I think they will, I think Brian will stay with it throughout the game, whether or not it works early or not. I think they'll go after Parsons and force him to play big boy football and let the chips fall where they may.
Go after Parsons, you mean just run right at Parsons?
I think you want to attack him. I think you want to take that aggressiveness away from him, force him to deal with a lot of runs early, so that it slows them down, and then the Giants keep it close late in the game, and
that's where the Giants have excelled. Is being great late in the game.
Keep it close late in the game.
Love it.
Look, it would be very Cowboys-like to lose this game, right? Because for the last quarter century, whenever we've wanted to believe in them, they've had a clunker. And I don't look, the Giants are having a great year. I don't want to disrespect them. But they're not as good as Dallas. Like Dallas, if they both bring their A game, Dallas beats them handily.
That's definitely
all right.
correct.
So I'm giving them a 30% chance. I'm picking Dallas, but I give them a 30% chance to win because all the things that Coach said. No, I break these things down.
How do you get that
I
number? How do
really
you get the 30%?
It's just a feel. It's just gut,
Is that a
but it's
formula?
accurate a lot. It's
Like the
accurate a
committee?
lot.
Yeah.
30% chance because of the things you said, Coach. And yeah, they're going to run the football. Not only Saquon obviously is great, but Daniel Jones is a running quarterback. Right? He throws it less than Jalen Hurts and
He's
Lamar
a
Jackson.
throwing running back. Is what Daniel Jones is.
Well, I agree. He's not a great quarterback, but he can run the football. But I just think Dallas has too much for them. I don't think they will let up off the big win. I think they'll let up at some point later in the season. But this Thursday, national TV, Thanksgiving, Cowboys too much.
This to me is as fascinating of a Thanksgiving Day game as we've had in years because of what it means for both teams. If the Giants lose, and I apologize, Coach, because I know how close you are with Dable, it could fall apart quickly. That Lions loss for them, when you look at what the Giants have the rest of the season, they have the toughest remaining schedule, and that's by winning percentage for this season, not like my preseason schedule predictions. We now have actual data. The Giants still have an Eagles game, 2 games against Washington, a Washington team that all of a sudden, Washington's won, what, 5 out of 6? Washington with Heineke's a real football team. The Giants have a brutal rest of the way. And it is in play that they go from 7-2 to missing the playoffs. I'm not saying I'm predicting it. Right now, Vegas has them at about 55% to make the playoffs, 45% to miss. So this game, if they lose it, could go sideways. On the Cowboys side of things, to Brew's point, if they lose it, it's like, man, there's nothing they could do to earn our trust.
Right.
Because we have seen what they look like when they're firing on all cylinders. But if they sandwich that, or, if the middle of that is the Vikings win, and then the Packers collapse, and then losing to the Giants at home on Thanksgiving on a short week would just be terrible. Flip side to the flip side quickly, Wilds.
Okay.
If the Cowboys win, the 1 seed is in play for them.
Oh, yeah.
They can catch Philly because they get Philly again. Philly has the divisional loss with Washington that they would, if Dallas beats them, they would then have 2. So for the Cowboys and Giants, the range of outcomes depending on this football game, vary enormously. I think Cowboys are a playoff team no matter what. But are they a Super Bowl team? Go win this game. And for the Giants, to prove they're a playoff team, they got to win this game.
These teams have the same exact record. And take you behind the curtain a little bit. OKW was on the morning call. And the question originally was, do the Giants have any chance of winning? And I said, I don't like that question.
That's not what you said. That's not what you said. You said to our wonderful producer, Hubs, who works night and day preparing these questions for you, I said, I won't ask that. Well, that's what Wild said. I'm not asking that. So I don't know if you got someone else coming out today, but old KW ain't asking that dumb question. I think it's exactly what you said.
That was not exactly what I said. I was a little undercaffeinated.
It got a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. I had to pretend my Zoom dropped.
But that's because I felt the disrespect on behalf of Saquon and Brian Daboll. The teams have the same exact record. But for some reason, when the Cowboys win, it's like, oh, the Cowboys. But when the Giants win, it's like, they shouldn't have won that game. Look at their point differential. Yeah, they're not a real 7-3. They have the same record. The Cowboys are plus 84. The Giants are plus 1. But guess what? I don't care. I care about wins and losses. Saquon needs to have a big game. He did nothing against the Lions. He had 22 yards. You got to run the ball. Brian Daboll's the coach of the year. No one's talking about it. You know why? Like, oh, he does a good job. He's squeezing enough out of an untalented Daniel Jones. Oh, he's doing it. No, the team is good. Dispatch of the Cowboys. They have the same record. They got no passing
game to speak of.
They're winning. They have the same record. They need to win this game.
Wilds.
Yes?
Are the Jets as good as the Patriots?
God, no.
They have the same record.
God, no. The Patriots are different. No. The Patriots. Yeah, but you're talking about the Patriots, America's team. I'm not talking about the Cowboys and the Giants. Right. Moving on to Odell. This is the Odell ladder match. Winner of this, Odell says, you know what? I'm canceling my meeting with the other team. That's not what's happening, but it's what should happen. So the question is this, Nick. Who needs Odell more, the Giants or the Cowboys? Supposed to have meetings with them post-Thanksgiving.
Oh, I think it's without a doubt the Giants. And I think it's even if Odell, coach, is not the athlete that he was even with the Rams. Which I think maybe he will be, but I think every time a guy suffers another lower body injury, there's a chance the athleticism deteriorates. What the Giants need is someone who they can put the ball in his hands and make things happen, which they should have had in Kadarius Toney, but it didn't work out with him there. Odell could do that. I also think offensively, he could bring a bit of a swagger to them that would be helpful, and they could use a guy who throws a nice deep ball, which they don't have. They could. I've seen him. They drop some dimes. That would be nice for them if they want to actually throw it deep to a different receiver. So to me, it's the Giants.
The Giants could use a receiver, just not this receiver. We've seen this movie before. He belongs in Dallas. If you're going to make a decision between these two teams. Go to the place that's filled with stars and where he can be a complement to CeeDee Lamb, and he fits more in that environment than he does in New York and what Brian's building and their approach to team building. It doesn't really make sense at this point. I don't think it's a great fit.
Wow. Look, I agree with you. I think Dallas is the better fit for OBJ. And like you said yesterday, I really don't think he's seriously considering the Giants unless the money is so big, bigger than everybody else,
5 weeks
that he's not, he can't resist it. But look, the Giants, their leading receiver, Saquon's got the most catches, but as a receiver, they have no receiver with more than 24 catches. Darius Slayton. And Darius Slayton, he is there's 109 receivers with more catches than their leading receiver. I mean, that's how bad their pass
receiver that can block. That's what they need.
Yeah, no, right, because they need to run it 3 yards in the cloud.
To run the ball 55 times.
I like it. That's what Saquon wants.
So far.
Let's do it. Coming up next, are the Jets benching Zach Wilson already?
This is
Not great. First things first.